edition of NFL Game Day Morning, here presented by Lowe's. We know football. Lowe's knows home improvement. I am Rich Eisen. That's my coach, Steve Mariucci. He's in a three-piece suit just for the occasion today. And my Hall of Fame friends at the end of the set, Kurt Warner and Michael Irvin, dressed like AT&T Stadium exploded on him today. Good to see you, Irv. Now, I imagine the fact that the Cowboys are in a two-seed position, all they have to do is beat the team that's currently second overall on the clock to get it, and that makes you a little bit nervous. We're here to help you out through this potentially trying 4 hours for you.
You're going to rile him up early.
No, I'm not riling anybody up early. So, first of all, you have long since clinched the picks competition.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying?
There's still a chance. There's still a chance.
I'm like one of those corners that bit on the double move, and I'm swimming to try and catch up, and I'm getting beat.
Yeah, well,
there's still a chance, though. There's a chance.
I need to understand greatest margin of victory because there's just so many ways I get.
Madison is bringing out you. Champ the dog.
Champ.
Look at him. And
he's not the champ yet.
Oh, now he's champ the winner. He's champion winner.
Your emotional support Cowboys dog.
Let me tell you why this is important. The Bible talks about it. Champ suffered with me. Now he will reign with me in the Super Bowl, champ. Good to see you again, buddy. Look at that. His name is Champ.
Lone Wolf, Cowboys emotional support stuffed animal.
Michael is a friend of mine.
Me and Champ, we're going to make it through this.
He's the best friend that I've ever found.
We're just trying to get stronger.
And I know he'll never let me down.
Me and Champ right there.
No, because Michael is a friend of mine.
Come on, Champ. You with me through the hard times. You're going to get to be able to celebrate the good in Las Vegas this year. Las Vegas, we coming, Champ and I got you a nice suite already, buddy. Don't worry.
This is just
Champ go. Yeah, it's nice.
Honestly, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know how I'm going to get through the last 3 hours.
Kind of emotional, Rick.
Let me get this right. 56 minutes of this program. All right, Champ's here. Champ is here. Let's see what happens. The AFC South champ and the Texans are a wild card team. And that means the Buffalo Bills tonight would either be the 2 seed with a win in Miami or with a loss in Miami. The Dolphins are the 2 seed, and the Bills would be out if the Jaguars win today. That's the way we set things up to send things to you, Ian Rappaport, on T.J. Watt. What do you know about him?
Rich, this big win for the Steelers came with a bad loss. Sources say T.J. Watt, a potential Defensive Player of the Year candidate, suffered a grade 3 MCL sprain. That is essentially a torn MCL. That is the belief based on initial tests. He's also going to have an MRI to confirm this diagnosis. This is a multi-week injury, which means even if the Steelers do advance, hard to see T.J. Watt, who finished this season with 19 sacks, hard to see him out there with his teammates.
All right, thanks very much, Ian Rappaport. Appreciate that. That's for down the road. Just again, repeating one more time for you. The Steelers win removes a Jaguars' path to the playoffs with a loss today in Tennessee off the table. So the Steelers win makes it a must-win game for the Jacksonville Jaguars. If they win it, they're the 4 seed. The Texans are a wild card seed. That would set up the Bills needing to win tonight to either, again, I don't recall this in the 20 years plus that we've been on the air, where a team is either the second best seeded team in the conference or home for that conference's playoffs.
Yeah.
What's your biggest takeaway from Saturday, Steve?
You know, what an awesome season. This is the final week of the season, and 20 teams, guys, either have clinched already or are still fighting for playoff spots. No other year in our history have we had more than 20 teams fighting this late in the year. That means there's parity, right? That means there's a lot of good teams. And you know what? Mike Tomlin, you saw him in that sexy weather over there in the rain against Baltimore.
Sexy. Not at all.
You know what? 17 years he's been coaching the Steelers and never has had a losing record. Are you kidding me? That's impossible. That's impossible. Right. So my hat is off to this guy. You know, they had 3 different starting quarterbacks this year. They're like the bottom 5 in offensive scoring, but they still have that defense and still have that culture over there with the Steelers. Mike Tomlin, unbelievable job.
And how about the fact that they went 5-1 in that division? I mean, argue it's the best division in football, and here's the Steelers going 5-1.
Great job.
Right, but when you say that, Coach, you also have to put on, he does have a ring. Because people will say, oh, he's always doing okay, but never. No, he has a ring. He's taking them to a Super Bowl. But let me tell you my takeaway from yesterday, because I thought it was incredible to watch that Houston game. I thought Indy would win the game, but because they're at home, Indy has been playing well at home. They've won all the way down the stretch at home. But I said to myself, Kurt, great quarterback play overrides everything. And that's exactly what Houston got. They got great quarterback play. It overrode any and everything. They got one receiver. Troy even talked about it. Troy said, listen, you got one receiver. Double him, stop him. But they could not stop him. And some of the plays that kid made were incredible. And I love seeing the emotions. You knew how much it meant to him getting that team into the playoffs with all they had gone through. I thought it was a beautiful, beautiful scene.
And that's been a great takeaway all year long. I mean, there's few tapes that I love to throw on more than watching C.J. Stroud, and this is as a rookie quarterback. But let's also give love to the rookie coach that goes along with that rookie quarterback in D'Amico Ryans, because so much of what we're talking about this year and punching their ticket to the playoffs is about building a winning culture. And yes, it helps to have that quarterback that can lead you in big moments, but it's about that guy right there bringing in that culture, bringing in that winning attitude, coming from San Francisco, where he was in 3 championship games, played in a Super Bowl as the defensive coordinator. That, to me, is what this is about this year. It's about building a culture in Houston. Nobody gave them a chance at the beginning of the year, and because of those 2 guys, they're sitting here and they punched their ticket to the playoffs.
And did you guys see when they won? You could see D'Amico Ryan. He was looking right at his quarterback as they were cheering on, man. I was like, wow, Lovie Smith really blessed them winning that last game and giving them the 2 pick. And that's, you know what I'm saying?
Well, again, you never know where the Texans would have taken Stroud, but that is an important point. Certainly in this league where you never know, right? This is the week last year after which we were like, well, Lovie kind of spit his last breath in the face of the Texans. And what that wound up with is putting him in a spot where they wound up with Stroud and a new head coach in Ryans. They also made the right moves. Nick Caserio on draft night, getting Will Anderson with that draft trade going.
And that young play caller.
It's just last one. Hold on a second. Are you going to have Champ to your left the entire time?
Well, I'm just wanting to make sure Champ, you know, because Champ is here now. And Champ, you know, we've been through some tough times, and Champ held me. And now we're going to go through some great times, and I'm going to hold Champ. That's what I'm.
Are we foreshadowing? You're like looking into a crystal ball at least later, or what?
You've earned this, buddy. We going to Vegas for the Super Bowl.
We're off and running here on this final regular season Sunday. Cameron Wolf, where it will all end tonight. Cameron?
Good morning, Rich and Champ. The Dolphins' injuries look like a CVS receipt. You got Jalen Waddle and Raheem Mostert not expected to play today, per our insiders. Xavier Howard and Bradley Chubb already ruled out. And this game's a little bit more dire for the Buffalo Bills. They could be eliminated completely with a loss. But as Dolphins linebacker Jerome Baker told me, I just want to win. I'm tired of losing to Buffalo. Now to Sherry Burris in Landover, Maryland.
Cam, the Cowboys are approaching today's game like the start of their playoffs. The postseason begins next week, but the outcome of today's game impacts their playoff journey. As quarterback Dak Prescott said ahead of them today, they can win the division, get the 2 seed, lock up that home field advantage by making today feel like a playoff game. Now to Mike Garafolo in East Rutherford.
Sherry, the slumping Eagles will keep an eye on that game, hoping they can somehow still win the NFC East. And maybe if it gets out of hand, they'll give their starters some rest here down the stretch against the Giants. But really for Philly, it's about getting back to playing the kind of football they played early in the season. I spoke to Fletcher Cox, and he said, obviously we're rooting for the Commanders, but we wouldn't have to watch that game if we had taken care of our business. We have to control the controllables. Now to James Palmer on Trevor Lawrence Watch.
Yeah, we'll be on that, Mike. Now, remember, it is a win for the Jaguars. You win the AFC South. Lose, you go home. And those chances are increased if Trevor Lawrence plays in this game. He is a true game-time decision with that right throwing shoulder injury. I'm told pregame they want to see where his velocity is, where his accuracy, if it's impacted, and how much pain he could be playing through if he goes. Now, let's go to Sarah Walsh in Charlotte.
His ribs are bruised and banged up, but Baker Mayfield is a go as he tries to lead the Bucs to their third straight division title. Mayfield said this week he's pretty sore, but he practiced in full on Friday. He's having a career year. He's thrown more touchdowns than he ever has before in the NFL. He said Tampa's been great for him, but, quote, we're not done yet. Now,